Hi, welcome to the Neil's Homestead, and today I wanted to talk about what curriculum we use for homeschooling. We decided to homeschool our kids this year. Up to this year, for several years now, they have gone to a private Christian school that my wife taught at. So the school they were going to closed this last year, and then we had to make a decision of what we wanted to do. And homeschooling seemed like the best option for us for a number of reasons. One, the lifestyle that we wanted to live. We wanted to be able to have the flexibility to do the things that we want to do. We wanted to work on the house together as a family. If they were going to, say, public school, we'd have to stay in the area. You have to deal with that schedule. Also, we wanted to be in charge of the things that they're learning. There's a lot of good curriculums out there. One of our favorites would have to be Abeka, especially for like the foundational years, K to 2. They're really good at phonics. I love their phonics program. Really teaches kids how to read and sound out words and spell and stuff. They're great at that. It seems there's a lot of kids out there that struggle with spelling and reading, and if your child is that way, I would highly recommend getting Abeka Phonics, K through second, at least, maybe third or fourth even, and just study that. There's YouTube videos you can supplement with. Getting that reading foundation allows them to, start absorbing all the knowledge they need in areas like science and social studies and such. As you get into the higher grades with Abeka, it's still great. One thing though is you kind of need to supplement math because it's pretty weak on math as they get into higher levels, especially middle school and high school. Another good one is Bob Jones University. They have great curriculum that you can go all the way through with. Abeka and BJU, you can't really go wrong with those two. But today we're going to tell you what curriculum we're using for this year, and it seems to work for us. We're busy, we want the flexibility that it provides, and we have several kids, so that this works well for that. It's ACE, Accelerated Christian Education. I think they also go by School of Tomorrow, and they come in unit forms called PACES. So basically you buy a set of books for the whole year in different subjects. And for example, this is Maya's over here, and this is science. This one's 1027. I believe they go from like 1025 to 1035, and that would be for the third grade year. And they have to complete that set of books to get through science, and there's one for each subject, one set of books. So for example, Micah has social studies, he has science, math, English, literature and creative writing, Bible reading, and word building, which is largely spelling. Each PACE is kind of a self-contained unit that basically teaches you everything you need to know to study this unit. There are instructions and examples, and it reinforces it, so it's very easy to learn it. And like I said, it's all contained. What they need to know is contained in each PACE. So as they go through it, they will run into checkups. And so they take this checkup, and as they go through it and they answer them and then they check it, then if they missed anything, they have to go back and figure out why they missed it and figure out the proper answer to that and how to figure that proper answer. There's usually 2 or 3 checkups in each PACE, and so the first one will be over the first part of the unit, second over the second part, etc. And then they will come to a self-test. And the self-test, they cannot look back into the book to take it, and they have to go through it and again just take it and see what they got right, what they got wrong. So if they fail the self-test, then they have to go back and do the checkups again and then take the self-test again. And when they pass the self-test, then they will move on to the PACE test, which is over the entire PACE here, covers all the material in there. So if they fail the PACE test, then they have to go back and do the self-test again to make sure they know this material. Then they'll move on to the PACE test again. And if they fail the PACE test again, then they have to move back and do all the checkups again, then the self-test again, and then take the PACE test again. Now, if they fail the PACE test again, they still don't know the information. They have to go back all the way to the beginning of the PACE, complete the entire PACE again. So that's one thing we like about this curriculum, and part of why we chose it is that there's a lot of process to make sure that you've learned the material before you move on to the next one. Make sure you learn it, because especially with like math, you need to build on each level. You can't just move on to the next one. So, maybe the kids weren't paying attention, or maybe they just asked Alexa, or pulled up Google on their phone and looked it up. This makes sure that they know the material so that we can test them on that. Another reason we like this is that it's largely self-study. It teaches them the material themselves. We don't have to lecture, 4 different grade levels or something. It's all contained here, and they only need help if they need help. If they get stuck on something, or maybe a question's tricky or something like that, they'll ask us to help them figure out what the right answer is. Most everything is in here, so they normally don't have to ask us. With Abeka, for example, it's good for homeschooling as well, but you pretty much have to sit with your child and teach them and walk them through everything. Abeka is more for like a classroom setting or one-on-one teaching. My wife has attended a seminar on ACE curriculum where it was laid out how to do this in a school setting, and basically in a school setting they would divide kids into their own cubicles and stuff, and they would still self-study, and they would only like raise a flag to ask for help if they got stuck again, but mostly they just studied on their own. By the very nature of it, if they're your own kids, they're almost always going to be different grade levels. We have 4 grades going on here, and it's hard to teach 4 grades at the same time, but with this one it's designed for self-study. All 4 can study at the same time and just ask for help when they need it. It's great for parents who are busy doing things like us. We'll give them their work, and then maybe we'll go do something else for a while, then we can come back and we can check their work that they've completed. We have these score keys, so we don't necessarily have to know all the material. We can look it up and then circle what they've gotten wrong, and then they can go back and study that. I think this curriculum is actually for parents who want their kids to learn and not have as much work for the parents, but they want them to learn really well. We went ahead and purchased a whole year's worth of curriculum for all our kids. We put them in these organizers, and they've got the subjects divided up so it keeps everything neat and clean. For example, these are all the word building, spelling ones for Maya. These cost about $38 for a whole year's worth of one subject. For the score keys, they're about $12 a piece. So that comes out to about $50 per subject, per student, per year. I think that's pretty reasonable. Also, if you want to save money and have multiple kids in different grades, you can just take these and not write on the pace itself. Use a notebook and write the answers in that. You can pass them down from child to child and save. This year we decided to just have them go ahead and write in the book just to keep things simple. So we just wanted to share what we're doing for homeschooling. We're curious what you all might be using for homeschool curriculum if you're homeschooling your kids. It's always great to hear new ideas, and it's good to supplement with different curriculums, get different perspectives on things, and especially like math. It's good to look at different directions, help them get stronger in that. So comment below what curriculum you're using, and it'll be interesting to see that. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.